Hello, it's me. Hi. I'm behind, but you guys are wonderful. If you guys are not watching this live, please check the description box below to see when I'm actually going to get started. I am in a hotel, as you can see, and my service is a little spotty, yoddy, 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 yoddy. So, yeah, I'm gonna start bringing in all the pictures that I need. Oh no, I didn't take pictures for this one. This is 90 Day Fiancé, right? Not Love After Lockup? Correct. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to go off of good old memory because I didn't take notes. I fully allowed myself to enjoy the tell-all, so there is not a note to be had. Let's wait for more people to come into the room. Hi, Connie. Hi, Summer of Dragonfly. Hello. Hello, you guys. I am going to sing my song once we get started. Hi, Pink Jeep. Welcome. Hi, Adriana. Hi, Sean, Christina. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make myself a bebidas. You guys make yourself a bebidas. Hi, Yazelle. Welcome to the room. Yes, Sean, Christina, I did. Do you not follow me on Instagram? I documented it there. I did it on Friday. Shannon Van. Yes, go take a shower, Shan. Usual 10-minute warm-up. Go take a shower, girl. Also, you guys, Shannon Van is doing Real Housewives of Salt Lake City stuff on Instagram. So go check her out. She's got the jokes. She's bringing the fun times. Summer of Dragonfly, no, I'm not home. This is a hotel. I got a suite. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be eating healthy things. My refrigerator has salad in it, okay? Salad. I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to run. So there's my life. Hi, Doris. Hi, Jasmine. Hi. Oh, wait, what happened with Pink Jeep? Oh, yeah. Everybody say a moment for Pink Jeep. Jeep. Great. Oh, good. Stay away from IG. You're right. You're right. I find myself on IG and then I'm like, why am I here? And I remember to go to TikTok because TikTok doesn't make me feel bad about my body. TikTok doesn't make me feel bad about my life. TikTok looks like it's a bunch of real ass people just telling these jokes. Okay. Also, for some reason I've jumped onto like biracial TikTok where I get a lot of people who are like, this is what my dad looks like. This is what my mom looks like. I know I don't look black, but I am. Why did I do a relaxer? Because I was tired of my hair. So I'm really thin up in here. And in fact, when she did this relaxer, she left it on for she put it in and then was combing it through and then was like, oh girl, I gotta take this out because my hair was coming out then. I just want to see if my hair was going to flourish under the relaxer. I know there's all this talk about, hair doing bad underneath relaxers, but sometimes people's hair grow with a relaxer. So I'm going to try it and see what happens. I am tired of my natural hair looking like Cynthia from Rugrats, Angela's what's her name? Angelica's doll. That's literally what my hair looks like. And now it is so thin that like when I pull it, it's like there's this like nothing. So I'm like, let me just see what this looks like. And I think I can rock a pixie cut, you know? So we're just going to cut it, keep it growing, keep it relaxed. She's going to give me advice. And if she says like, you know, maybe we need to go natural, maybe we need to do texturizer, maybe we need to do whatever, like I'm down. And that same shop does those like sew-in wigs or glued down wigs. And I'm like, I'll invest in a glue down wig. So anyways, that's why I did it. That's the refrigerator is making a lot of noise. Where are you, Wa? Still in Canada? Maybe Quebec City, which is one of my faves. No, I'm in New Mexico. New Mexico is a state in the US. People are like, Mexico? I'm like, no. New Mexico. Oh, why were you thinking to do the same? Yeah. I got you. Yeah, I mean, I know this is gonna cost me more because I have to go every like 3 weeks or 2 weeks to get it touched up and stuff. But I'm just like, I want to see what this. I haven't had a relaxer in 22 years. It's 2001 would be 20 years. 098, 23 years. I haven't had a relaxer in 23 years. So I think I like, you know, I did it. I did the big chop before it was popular to do the big chop. I had my natural hair before it was popular to have your natural hair. I have been rocking a buzz cut or a very short, you know, haircut and braids and all kinds of stuff for over 2 decades. And now I'm just going to bring it back. For those of you guys, Mickey is not black. So for her to say she's going to leave her hair alone and put a relaxer on the rest of her is hilarious. Thanks, Jasmine. Thank you. You guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share on any social media platform that you deem fit. Yeah, so we're going to, you know, Gia, hello. I'm going to make myself a drink. That's what I'm going to do. You guys make yourself a drink too, okay? Ow. I brought my own knife. Trader Joe's tequila. I've never tried it. For these extended stays, I always bring my own trash bag because these little trash cans don't fit the bill. Also, my own wipes, so I can wipe everything down. Why does life have to be so difficult? I don't actually know if I'm going to like this. Let me bring this over here so I can sit down. I don't know why I think I'm Vanna White doing a presentation. Oh, and I'm using sparkling water because I'm trying to eat better and like, all those things. I was told that the margaritas that I normally like to consume are high in sugar, so I should try like a skinny kind of margarita, which is a tequila and lime situation with sparkling water. I don't know that I'm gonna like it, but we shall see. One thing I do want to say is that every time I tell somebody this, they don't care. But in California, you cannot get Trader Joe's sparkling regular water. In California, you can only get Trader Joe's sparkling mineral water. I personally don't like mineral water. Like, I don't like Perrier. I don't like San Pellegrino. Like, I just want regular water, sparkled. So I'm going to do like a shot. It's from my bartending days. 1 and 2. Great. About that much. And then I'm going to do the lime because I want it to immediately mix in there. So just a half a lime. I could get fancy and like cut it and garnish it correctly, but like we're not being fancy today. Okay, and then I'm going to do my sparkling non-mineral water. Shannon, you took a shower that quick, girl? That's quick. BC before COVID. I was just yeah, I don't like Pellegrino. I don't like sparkling mineral water. I only like regular sparkling water. So now I'm going to pour this in. And we shall see. Oh, it's fine. I don't really taste tequila because the lime neutralizes it. And yeah, that's fine. It's quite refreshing. Let's get a little more of this. Huh. I was expecting it to be low-key bitter. It tastes more like tequila than anything. Throw my lime away. Put the other lime in the refrigerator. Okie dokie. I'll wash those dishes. Oh, you know what? Whoa! Wasn't expecting that. Let's go ahead and use a giant straw. Okay. Okay. We're almost at 15 minutes in. We'll get started at the solid 15 minutes. That way I can put the I'm sleepy. Today was a travel day. So I'm a little tie-tie. Okay. About 30 seconds. All right. What are you guys talking about? Hi, Kishana. Hello. The tall, skinny hands, they have a small amount of juice, and they are beautiful. Ooh, yeah, I don't like sparkling. I don't like mineral water, girl. I don't like it. Hi, Lala. Lupe. Hello. Welcome. Don't worry about being late, girl. We haven't started yet. I haven't been watching the episodes, but the clips are hilarious. You guys have to keep me reminded about what's going on, what happened. The one thing I loved them. Oh God, we're already 20 seconds. Oh, I'm so late. Okay, here we go. Let's get started. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé. Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé. This is 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way, Season 3, Episode 15, The Tell-All. Guys, we finally made it. We made it through the season. Don't forget to share this video on any social media platform that you deem fit. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and let me sing my song. It's almost 8 p.m. in the evening. We're here to talk 90 Day. So stop on by and have a kiki drama of the other way. Set the time and the date, 5 after 6 on Sundays. Catch me live or hashtag replay gang. Either way, you've made my day. I have to make a new one now for before the 90 days, but maybe it'll be the same beat. Yeah, guys. So if you want to donate to the baby fund, you can down below. You see the options scrolling on your screen. There are no options to give it if you are international, so I do apologize, but there is PayPal. No super chat. You know, I've already explained why I'm not doing that. As you guys can see, I am traveling, so I do apologize if my internet goes out. Just let me know, those of you guys who are here in the room, and I want to thank those of you who are in the room here today, and I want to thank those of you who watch this on the replay. Okay, so let's jump right in. The first couple that we're going to talk about, and this is because they put them first, so I'm going to talk about them first, and y'all should have had enough opportunity to come into the room, so let's talk about these two fools. Okay, so this is the one where I have a little bit of compassion for Steven because I see myself in Steven a little bit. I too do not know, or I still don't, but I'm better at it now than I have ever been. I still don't understand what things you should say out loud and what things you shouldn't say out loud. Steven doesn't know what things to say out loud and what not to say out loud. Also, it's really interesting the piety that Steven has and the anger that Corey has towards somebody who's trying to represent his religion. Okay, now, so we start off with Steven walking in, goofy, and telling the producers that Kenny looks older in real life than he does on TV. That's one of the things he doesn't know what not to say and when to say. And we find out that Alina is in wherever she is, Russia or Turkey, but she's not in the US. And I think it was because they couldn't get the visa, which they didn't really explain what was going on with that. But it is, you know, there's chaos in Mormontown. So first of all, Alina looks great. She is giving me like sexy secretary. Also, like that red lip was popping. She was like, that's the best she's ever looked. Not to say she hasn't looked good this entire time, but like, that's the best. So she is not there, and Steven is there, and all the couples are there. So Armando is not there, and both Jenny and Sumit, for obvious reasons, aren't there. And they had a lot of guests, but oh God, speaking of guests, Steven's guest, his ex-girlfriend comes. Girl, it's a bit of business. So Steven and Alina are kind of recapping where their relationship is. They did get married, even though I didn't think they were going to get married. And it turns out that Steven, because him and Alina got into an argument, Steven had some DMs hanging out, you know what I'm saying, that he didn't delete, 9 to be specific. And he then decided during the fight with Alina to answer all 9 of those DMs with like, oh, you do look sexy, and like, because he has a long tongue, and like just being kind of not what a husband or somebody who's in a committed relationship should be. And every last single one of those girls told Alina. I mean, listen, as much as I love the crazy fanatics of 90 Day Fiancé, but every single man needs to know that when a woman is sending you a picture, there is a 75% chance it's a setup. And Steven just is like, well, I'm mad at her, so I'm going to go on ahead and just be a dumbass and be rude and be not faithful to my wife. So they get into a big argument about it. And I guess somewhere along the line, he brings up the fact, or like argues her down with the fact that he would like to have a threesome. And I don't know where in the Book of Mormon it says that it's okay to have a threesome, because even in the polygamous lifestyle that some, fundamental LDS folk adopt, there is still no threesomes. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying it's not supposed to happen. And he's like, okay, so here's what's happening. We have a person who was raised in a very conservative and rather strict religion. And he's having all of these feelings that a normal human would have. But because these feelings must be considered deviant or just very much against the behavior that one is supposed to do in their religion, correct? Personally, I feel if Alina is down with it, I think threesomes, there's nothing wrong with it. Y'all are grown adult, it's pleasure. You do what you want to do. However, because he made such a big deal about her being baptized in the church, and he is on TV wearing his Mormon underwear and representing the LDS community, Corey is pissed at him. And he was like, well, that's funny that you're saying that compared to you being like this. And Corey's like, I'm not representing LDS. Yes, I grew up in it, but you haven't heard me talking about being Mormon or LDS church at all. Because I know I'm wrong. I know I'm not walking the right path. And I'm okay with that. You are the one who is trying to walk through the path. And I don't understand why, especially because both of his brothers, Stephen's brothers, left the path. And he is feeling like he must need to do so. And that he also feels that, he, it's a penance or something, that he's walking the path, but he slips off, but it's okay because that's how you know to be a better person. You know what he tells Evelyn? That he's like, oh, Evelyn, this is the most modest I've ever seen you dress. And I said, are you talking about Evelyn who's on the beach all the time? Are you talking about Evelyn who lives in the tropics? And so you expected her to be in a I don't know, bathing suit for the tell-all? She didn't have anything to say to it, but definitely Sean Robinson's facial expression was like, Steven. Everybody was like, Steven. And he's like, what? It's a fact. I mean, just because this is the most modest you've ever seen her dress doesn't mean that A, you need to comment on it, or it's your place to comment on it as a stupid white male. Like, we don't need your commentary about any woman's clothing or body at all. Okay, you're over here like, the seat is bouncy. Like, you don't get to tell anybody about anything. Okay, and then he's like, I'm having these urges. And I just was like, at first I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought maybe him and Alina weren't having sex. And that's what these urges were, is that he wanted to have sex. But he's like, no, I would like to have a threesome. I'm like, it's too early in the marriage for a threesome. You tricked this girl into marrying you. You didn't tell her all the things that you wanted to do. And I think it's because part of him, he probably thought that, well, if I marry her, I should be able to throw anything at her because we are married. And like, we're going to stay together and you're going to be my person. But I'm like, something like that is something that you need to tell your person before you commit to them. Like, Missy, you're absolutely right. Also, there was something really interesting about just how quick he was. He had all his judgments. And the thing is, so Steven knew that he was going to be talked about. He knew that he was going to be the most hated. He already knew it. So he came in ready to talk about Ari, to talk about Evelyn. And who else did he talk about? I think those were the only two that he went after. Those are the only two couples that he talked about. And he says that he this is the most embarrassing anything has ever been to him, and it was the hardest thing. However, he feels like it's what was needed, the kick in the pants to get to the next level. And Kenny ends up telling him at the very end, like, let me have a talk with you, youngster. You made a choice to marry this woman. Now you just need to cut this shit out and step up. And I said, okay, Kenny. Okay, Grandpa Kenny. Okay, Grandpa Ken Ken. Thank you so much for coming in and saying what you needed to say. Speaking of Grandpa Ken Ken, let's move over to Kenny and Armando and Kenny's dumbass daughters. Like, I don't care. Listen, I watched Chris's um commentary on this show, and how she would feel as the single parent, and her not like, I mean, as the only child of a single father, and her not liking the fact that the vows said something about my favorite person. And listen, these two grown ass twins sat across from Kenny and Armando and told them that they didn't think it was right that they brought a baby up, that they had a baby. Bryson is the only person that makes sense. He's the only one. He's like, what does it matter? You are adults. You are adults. You pay your own bills. Okay? I don't understand. And even if you didn't, let's say Kenny was wealthier than wealth, and he was able to take care of all four of his kids, and then he wanted to have a fifth. Guess what? You're adults. Go get a job. Don't be jealous at an infant because you're worried about how much money is no longer going to be coming your way. Like, how dare you? How dare you tell your father that you don't think it's right if biologically they were to get their own kid? Now, when Armando's mother and sister said that they would rather him not adopt because culture in Mexico is to have your own children, I wanted to kind of fight them on that too. I wanted them to be like, well, I think you should really think of that because, also plot twist, Armando grew up LDS. Who knew the Mormons were in Mexico? I mean, they're everywhere, but wow. Armando grew up LDS? That's really interesting. There's like 3 Mormons in this season. I'm like shocked. Armando and Corey and Steven. It was like interesting. It was very interesting. It's very interesting. So anyways, Armando's sister and mother looked great, obviously. We talked about the wedding. They talked about Love is Love. Hannah made a guest star appearance, and she had given us a good, like, blunt bob haircut. I loved it, blunt cut. But yeah, like, I was disappointed in his kids, except for Bryson. Like, you don't need to be worrying about him. It's just like, oh, that you won't have time for us now. Grow up, get yourself a partner. Like, your dad can't be your everything. Obviously, like, Kenny has given everything to you guys. I was asking you guys last week or the week before whether or not Kenny was ever married or Kenny was ever in a relationship, and I think I found out that he hadn't been. Like, he completely jumped into being a parent, and he met Armando a few years ago, and Armando makes him happy. He misses his family, he misses his kids, but he's given everything to them. And it's now time for him to live for himself. And so I am 100% on his side if he wants to have a kid with Armando, biologically or no. I support whatever that grown-ass man who took care of 4 kids, 3 all at the same age, 1 son and 3 triplets, girls. Like, let Kenny move on and live his life. Don't make this man cry because you feel some sort of way. You're right to have your feelings, and it's okay for you to have your feelings, but it's not okay for you to put it on him and make it so that he feels guilty about the things that you want. And I see Armando getting frustrated because it's like, this is the first time they're not on board, and I get it. What does Mickey say? I love all the progressive ideas. I live in the most multicultural city in the world. However, we are affected by where we live, and some understanding should be exercised. I mean, I do, but like, I can't wrap my head around, like, I understand people who say that they don't want to adopt because at some point I was that person. But then I had to pull my head out of my own behind and recognize that there are a lot of kids out there who need homes. And while I don't know if I would be up to it as a human being to do so, I would never stop someone else who was considering it. Like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But I wouldn't tell my kids or any other adult that they can't do it. If that's something you want to do and you feel like you could do so, then do it. But I mean, I've seen kids in foster care, and the foster care system in the US sucks. And I don't know how it is in Mexico, but if it sucks in the US, I imagine it sucks everywhere else. Like, I don't know if the foster care system really works in any country. I don't know what that looks like. You know, the idea of orphanages like hurts my heart. And yeah, I think that if you have it in your heart to adopt a child at whatever age, then you're a better person than me. Okay. Thanks, Beastmaster. Appreciate it. I was feeling like very Jeanne. Hey, Mr. DJ, we could get it started. Everybody's ready to party. All night, all the girls are ready. Okay, let's talk about them. Corey's a liar. Evelyn's upset. Corey's brother came. Both Corey and his brother feel like their spouses are the reason why, or both Corey feels like his brother's spouse is the reason why Evelyn wasn't accepted by his family, and Corey's brother feels like Evelyn was the reason why Evelyn wasn't accepted by the family. And Evelyn and Taylor, who are the spouses, feel like they're dumb because they keep blaming them for the reason why things aren't working out. So Corey's brother and his wife were dressed exactly the same to me. Like they shop at the same store. Okay. He shops at the big and tall version of hers because everything she was wearing was tight and everything he was wearing was too big. It was like, I'm like, oh, are we wearing our witnessing? It was like he was giving me less Mormon vibes and more Jehovah's Witness vibe. I felt like he was like knocking on people's door with a Bible. That huge white collar that came out of that oversized like burgundy sweater, and then she's wearing something similar, but just like the like, I don't even know what to say. It was a lot. It was a lot happening on their couch. It's a lot happening. Oh, you know what I forgot to talk about in Steven and Alina? Steven's ex-girlfriend came out, and apparently there was a never before scene where the girlfriend was like, please don't talk to me ever again. I'm not interested in you. Because what had happened is when Steven went to Russia for 2 months, which I think this was the trip that he met Alina on, he had sex with 3 different women. She said, we can break up and we don't have to be in a relationship together, but don't sleep with anybody. And he had sex with 3. Like, I really do think that Steven has some kind of sex addiction. And I think it's because he has an unhealthy or uneducated relationship with sex. What do you guys think? I don't know. Maybe because he was repressed. I mean, is he repressed? He's 25. Like, I don't necessarily know the amount of women that he's had sex with isn't a lot, but you go to Russia on your like pilgrimage or whatever. Maybe it wasn't his pilgrimage. Like, but I mean, like, aren't you there for like religious reasons? And you like have sex with 3 different women? It's like really interesting. It's really interesting. Anyway, so Corey's a giant mess up, and yeah, whatever. I don't care about them. Shannon Van says, My dad told me at 17 he was having a new kid, and I remember how upset I was. In retrospect, I feel bad for not being happy for him. He got to start a second life. Whew. I believe Corey and Evelyn was just scared that I believe Corey was just scared that Evelyn wouldn't take him back. That's why he lied. I'm not saying it's okay, but I've been following them since the beginning. Yeah. I believe so too. I believe that's why he lied. I feel that's why all men lie. Most men lie because of that. Summer of Dragonfly said yes on what you said, Wa. Watch the Tell All Pillow Talk per Kalani, who grew up Mormon too, said they equate sex as a grave sin as murder. Oh, they take it that far? Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, his mission, not his pilgrimage. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. But he was only there for 2 months, so I guess it wasn't. Because don't you go on your mission for 2 years? So, anywho, let's go on to the next couple. Evelyn's sisters looked really good, though. They did. Even though they're, like, mean. Okay, so let's talk about these guys. So for Ari and Benny. Benny is in the US, which we knew because he posted on Instagram like a few weeks ago, and I had made a comment about it, that he was not in Ethiopia, that he was looking like his background was looking like a golf field or a golf course. And a golf course. So they bring Leandro out. And Ari really doesn't have much to say about the fact that she went too far with Leandro. Leandro basically said that he's not going to back off of Ari until Ari says, I don't want you in my life anymore. And I look at Benny and I'm like, Benny, why don't you tell Ari that you aren't comfortable with Leandro being in her life? And I know why. The reason is because she won't let Leandro go. And I honestly do not think that these two are engaged in any kind of relationship. She literally left out of their marriage and then just got pregnant by somebody else. So she like burned the bridge and blew up their relationship, not him. And it's silly for him to even entertain with Ari because honestly, she doesn't deserve it. But if he wants to do so, then I guess he does. Apparently, they speak to each other in Spanish, which to me is weird and disrespectful too. Like, if she's going to talk to him, she should talk to him on speakerphone in English. That to me seems like a happy medium because she shouldn't talk to him at all. But if she's going to do so, especially because she knows that Benny doesn't like it. But part of me feels like she must do it because she wants to keep Benny on his toes. Like she wants to let him know that she's attractive and people love her and that like he's not the only person that can get somebody. And because he is quote unquote attractive, even though this entire segment I was looking at him like, to me, he's giving me a little butterface, you know what I'm saying? But it's fine. I hated when his sisters came on and he didn't defend Ari. I think that you have to defend your spouse. As somebody who has a sister-in-law, I've always said that I just wouldn't put my brother in a position to ever have to have him defend me, but I 100% know that he wouldn't. Like, he would be really mad at the fact that he couldn't. But at the end of the day, he has to go home to his wife. And I would never put him in that position. And I really do think it sucks that Wish and Mimi are putting him in that position. And I think it doubly sucks that he thinks that it's a woman's business. He thinks that the argument between his sister and his wife, or his soon-to-be wife, is woman's business. And that to me is just, no, it's not woman's business. What world are you living in? They are arguing not over something that has nothing to do with you. They are literally arguing over you. It'd be different if they were arguing over something else and you're just like, okay, I'm not going to get into it because you two are being dumb. But what they're arguing over is not woman's business. What they're arguing over is you. And from my perspective, our perspective of what we've seen on TV, Ari was doing her best to deal with them and their shenanigans. And he just sat back and let them talk shit about her. He let that happen. So, like, how is she supposed to feel protected? Of course she's going to take him away from them because she doesn't get any support from him. And then they're trying to say that Mimi is the problem, that Mimi is the one who's gossiping. And Mimi is the one who's doing all these things. Like, Mimi might be gossiping, but she isn't telling Ari to leave him. Now, for Ariel to say that Mimi is her best friend, I'm like, calm down, sis. That woman's like 20 years older than you. Can we unpack the jealousy statement made by Ari? Jealous of what? That was my question. Like, what are they jealous of? Like, jealous of the fact that Benny found an American to take care of him? Beastmaster, what do you think? Oh, I'm sorry. Mimi is sorry. Who's the sister? Who's Mimi? I don't know. The sister's name is Wish, and I think the other one's name is Mimi. And the nanny, I don't know what her name is. Was I getting it all mixed up? I don't know. Anyways, I don't like the fact that he doesn't stick up for her to his siblings, but she managed to corral him and get him to understand that she comes first, period, point blank. But the Leandro situation is out of control. Mimo is nanny? Yeah, I'm not a fan of him. She did look really good, though, and Evelyn pointed that out. Okay, next couple. Ellie and Vic. So, they bring out Harumi, and Harumi's like, do you trust him? And Ellie's like, I mean, like, I do. I trust him, but I don't like. I just, I don't understand. Like, listen, we're all just gonna have to let Ellie, a grown ass woman, make the choices that she's making and fall on her face if it's happening. But Victor makes her tingle down below, and she hasn't tingled down below in a long time. And I just don't have a dog in the fight of Ellie and Vic. I honestly don't. Also, they didn't really explain, like, is he on the K1 visa? I think he is. I think what happened is they started the process for the K1 visa, and then all of a sudden it got approved, so they just came to the US. But he doesn't want to stay there. And I don't blame him. Go back to Providencia. I do like the way he's dressed, though. I think he's dressed nice for the show. The fact that he said who hasn't cheated, I was like, sir, many people. And Kenny's like, I wanted them to pan around. I wanted every person to raise their hand. I know Ari couldn't raise her hand because she technically did cheat with Benny, and Benny probably technically did cheat. So, but he's like, why are you guys coming at me like no one's ever cheated? Like, people cheat. It is what it is. And then he says that he's just going to do his best to prove that he's trustworthy after this. He made a mistake, he cheated, and now it's over. And I'm with him on that. Like, why are we still talking about this? Ellie's a grown woman. If she doesn't want to leave him, like, okay, she has the right to do so. And she's like, oh, I've given him $5,000. And I'm like, did you write him a check? And I'm like, okay. So I think it's one thing if you've given somebody $5,000 for a purpose, and that purpose being to build up and fix up your home that you're going to live in, versus you just giving them $5,000 over time for them to, like, get their nails done. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, the $5,000 is like, girl, don't complain about don't talk about the $5,000. If you didn't have $5,000 to give him, then you shouldn't have given it to him. But obviously you did. So you keep she says that she gets triggered when he calls her cheap, which to me, he shouldn't call her cheap because he ain't got no money. So don't be calling her cheap. Don't worry about how much money she got in her pockets. And Sean is like, do you have does he have access to your credit cards? And she's like, no. And I said, you know what, right. She's not a stupid man. I can give this man access to her money. She's not that dumb. That's why I say, like, let Ellie do what she want to do. Because like her roomie needs to let that go. Like, I get it. But like, let Ellie do what she want to do. She grown. She grown. She grown. She been sad. She's ready to be not sad anymore. And I support it. She grown. What else happened with them? Anything interesting? Victor is just as gross as Steven with a V, but Victor admits he cheated, but wasn't out of love. Giselle says Victor gets on his nerves. Her nerves. I don't even care about them. Like, I just be like, who cares? Who cares about them? Who cares? Don't nobody care. Oh, look at this. So boring. Like, yeah, who cares? Who cares? All right, next couple. So Sumit and Jenny. As always, I am always happy for Sumit and Jenny. I love the fact that like Sumit and Jenny are just like watching this with popcorn, like, oh, did you see that? Oh, like, they're they're the anchor of the show, you know what I'm saying? And they're also the ones with the popcorn. So we have a segment where we bring in Sumit's and listen, the rest of the cast is riding for Jenny and Sumit, okay? So they've gotten married. He hasn't told his parents yet. He feels like he should tell his parents on the tell-all. It'll be a big, juicy bit of business, but he ends up not telling his parents. And Sean Robinson is like, Sumit, do you have something to say? And he's like, no. And she's like, oh, no? No, you don't have anything to say? And he's like, Mm-mm. And Jenny's like, yeah, no. Nah, we don't got nothing to say. And that's because I just don't know how Sumit's parents are going to be, because Sumit's parents have completely reneged on their support of their relationship. Like, when we left them, Sadhna and I can't remember his name, Sadhna and Anil were like, we want you to be happy. We're not going to stop you. We don't give you our blessing because we want you to be a good Indian wife, but you guys can do what you want to do. You're grown. And all of a sudden now they're like, nah, we still want Sumit to go home, Jenny to go home. They're living together. Why do they need to get married? Like, we've done the best that we can so far. So yeah, it's not a good thing. And then they ask Sumit's brother and Sumit's sister-in-law, who's there, if your parents hadn't said yes to your marriage to her, would you have married her? And he said, no, I wouldn't have. And then everyone's like, so what do you think about that? And she's like, I don't have an answer for that because I don't know. I've never even thought of that. But my thought is, she's like, but I'm a proper Indian wife. I can't imagine them saying no to me, but I'm great. Why would they say no to me? It's like not even a thought that would enter my head. Also, was their marriage not arranged? Was theirs a love marriage? So, she had to be approved of to come into the family? Interesting, if it wasn't arranged. Only because Sumit's was. So I find it interesting that they would allow him to make a love match. And yeah, it was just like, and the whole cast was like, you're wrong for this. They love each other. What do you mean? What's the rush? They've been together for 10 years. Like, they've already paced it out. Like, why is this such a big deal still? Like, you're stopping them from being happy. And like, yeah, I mean, at this point, I would need Sumit's brother to kind of like support this. Like, I get that it's against like tradition, but at this point, it's been 10 years. Like, it's been 10 years. Let these people live. It's been 10 years. Jen May says a traditional family has to approve whether it is a love match or arranged. Had to go through the whole process with my ex. I understand that. Yeah. But I guess she never thought in a chance that she would never be accepted. She's like, first of all, you see these eyes? You see this face? And I'm honestly like him and Sumit's brother and her look so cute. They both are two good looking people. And I'm like, have I never seen them before? I have. And I don't know, I didn't see what I saw in the tell all. It was interesting. It was interesting. So, I mean, Sumit and Jenny are living their lives. As long as they're married, I don't care that he doesn't tell his parents because I don't have to live his life. So, if he doesn't want to tell his parents, if he didn't know how his mother was going to behave, he didn't want to embarrass his mother on national television, which is why he didn't tell them. His mother would have got up and kicked everything on her way out. And then his father would have had to console her. There would have been a whole family meeting. They would have stormed their house. And he's like, I need to tell my parents face to face. I can't just tell them on national TV. And I felt like that makes sense. That makes absolute sense, especially because of the way they were talking. Like they full on were like, nah, they shouldn't get married. They should just live together. They're already living together. It's fine. I'm like, why? But it's fine. It's fine, I guess. To me, the most interesting storyline from this tell-all was Steven. It was the way everybody rallied around Alina and was like, girl, get out. And she was like, no, I already forgave him. I'm going to move forward with this. And I'm like, girl, you don't need to be with somebody who is like borderline sex addict at this point. You don't need to be with somebody who like can't rectify their religious beliefs with their what they want sexually. And I love the way that Ari jumped in and was like, Steven, I don't think you're a freak. Like, I don't think anything is wrong with you. I don't think there's anything wrong with what you're feeling. But the problem is that you have led her to believe that y'all was going to live a certain type of life. And now you are changing the script and you are changing into something else. That's not fair. You can't just marry her and then be like, well, you're my wife and this is what I want to do now. So this is what we're going to do. Like, no. That's a big thing. Like, a threesome is not like take it or leave it. Oh, I could. No. A threesome is a big deal. It's a big, big deal. It's a big deal. So, yeah. All right, you guys. So that's the end of my recap of the tell-all. Thank you guys so much for watching. If there's anything I missed, please leave it down below. Please leave a comment. Engage with this video. And I'm going to do Love After Lockup. Ooh, girl, I don't know when. Maybe tomorrow before I go to work. I have to do Love After Lockup, and I gotta watch The Family Chantel right now. Oh, I'm so behind. Ugh. You try to get sleep. You try to catch up on laundry, even though I didn't do laundry, but I attempted to. And you just throw your whole life in the chaos. Good thing is that I am flying home on the 19th, which is actually a 90 Fiancé day. But I'm only traveling for 2 more weeks, guys. This week, next week, and then that Sunday I'm home free. I just have to get through these 2 weeks. And I just have to like get up and exercise and like get my life together. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for your support. And I will see you guys sometime this week talking about those other shows. All right. Have a fantastic evening. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Girl, Shan, you ain't never lied. You ain't